What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Powerhouse Mentality podcast. I'm your host. I'm Caitlin Kenneth-Smith, and today we're going to have a conversation. I'm going to break down a few things that you need to do in order to get out of your own way. And I want to paint the picture here because I want to put a little bit of context behind why I'm doing this episode. 2 reasons, and I feel like I start off every fucking podcast by saying that. 2 things, 2 reasons, 2 ways. But I don't know, it just works out that way, so don't come at me. Reason number 1, every single time, and I'm not overreacting, every single time that I ask a question like this on my Instagram stories, on my Facebook, in the Powerhouse community, what's holding you back from reaching your goals? When I ask that question, the most common answer is me, myself. I'm standing in my own way. That's the most common thing that I hear people say. When I'm having conversations in my DMs with people who need help or with clients, one of the biggest overwhelming themes that keeps coming up is that people are the reason why they can't accomplish their goals, and they fucking know it. That's the crazy part. First of all, awareness is so important, and if you have the awareness, that's literally the first step to you making a change. Because if you're completely unaware of the situation that you're in, then there's no way for you to ever make a change until you actually start to realize what's truly reality and what's going on. So when you can actually take the reality of the situation and bring that awareness to you, then you're already way ahead of everybody else. So if you are out there and you're thinking to yourself, and I think the reason why you probably clicked on this episode is that you are that person who says, fuck, I'm the reason why I can't accomplish my goals. I'm standing in my own way, and I want to get out of my way so desperately, but I don't know how. I get it because I've been there. When I was dying of an eating disorder, I was literally standing in my own way, and I knew it. I was just so fucking stuck and so afraid to do anything differently because I was so scared of what could potentially happen. I was afraid that I was going to make the wrong decision and that I was going to mess this up somehow. And I want to ease your mind. 1, you can't fuck this up. No matter what you do in your life, you can't fuck it up unless you completely quit. You're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. That's the entire part of the journey, is that there's going to be a lot of different hurdles that you're going to have to overcome, and there's going to be a lot of setbacks that you're going to have to face. And that's completely okay. It's completely normal. But also what you need to keep in mind is that if you never take action, you'll always regret, and you'll always wonder, well, what if I did take action on this? How differently would my life look if I actually did that thing that I'm so afraid to do? The only thing that's standing in your way of you accomplishing your goals is you. And if you're unaware that that's the reason why, I'm going to bring that light to you today. The second reason why we're talking about this is I literally just got off of a client call with my client, Sarah. I work with so many fucking Sarahs, it's actually unbelievable. So you have no idea who I'm talking about. We've been working together for probably about 2 years, right around 2 years, maybe a little bit less. And today we got off a call and she had one of the most profound breakthroughs that she's had ever with us working together, and she's the most confident she's ever been. She's the happiest she's ever been, and now she's truly living her life instead of just existing. And she said those exact words, and I almost cried on the call because I was so fucking happy for her because I've seen the work that she's put in. And she's gotten out of her own way. She's had the breakthrough where she's no longer the reason why she can't accomplish her goals. And I'm going to break down exactly what she did over the last 2 years in order to make that happen. She probably doesn't even know that she did these things, but she did. So if Sarah, you're listening, here's exactly what you did in order to get out of your own way. And a lot of people are going to learn from it. And honestly, this is exactly what I did in order to get out of my own way, to stop killing myself when I had an eating disorder and start actually living my life. A lot of people ask me the question, how did you recover from your eating disorder? Other than the fact that I stopped starving myself and stopped overworking out. How did you actually take the step from starving yourself, being so stuck in that situation, to taking action, making a change, and committing to that change. Because it's not easy. If it were easy, everybody would do it. Nobody would struggle with addiction, and life would be fucking easy. But that's not how it is. Life is always going to throw hurdles at you. Life is always going to have stress to it, but that's part of life. However, your quality of life should not be so terrible that you barely want to get out of bed in the morning because of how miserable you are. And if that's you right now, listen the fuck up. Or if you know somebody who's in that situation right now, share this episode with them right now because they need it more than they know. So let's break it down. There are 4 things that we're going to talk about today. Number 1, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop being a victim. We live in a society today where there are so many more victims than there have ever been. It's almost as if people are competing with who can be a bigger victim of their own circumstances. And let me tell you, there is nothing less noble than being a victim. There's nothing more disgusting, in my opinion, than complaining all of the time and being a victim of your own circumstances. Look, if you constantly complain in life, you're literally giving away power and control. If you're constantly blaming others, you're always giving away your power and your control in your life. And if you lack control in your life because you're constantly blaming other people and you're constantly complaining about every little thing, then you'll never be able to take action and feel good about the life that you're living. Humans crave control. When we don't have control, we tend to dig holes in our life. It's kind of like a dog who doesn't have purpose because they've been taken out of their routine. When they don't have a routine, when they don't have purpose, like a herding dog, when they don't have a herd to protect, they start losing their shit and digging holes in the yard. You do the same thing as a human when you lack purpose and fulfillment and you lack control. So what you need to do is you need to take back control. And the only way for you to take back control is to focus on the things that you can control: your attitude, your effort, and your actions. You can always control those 3 things. And stop blaming others, because where the finger of blame points is where the power and control lie. So if you keep blaming your parents, if you keep blaming the government, if you keep blaming your teachers or your boss, you're literally taking away your control and power and giving it to them. Don't do that. This is your life. Understand that you can't control everything in life. You can't. However, you can always control your perspective, how you view the situation, and your response towards it. Nobody else gets to decide that for you. Not everything that happens in life is your fault. It's not. However, everything is your responsibility to heal, recover, and move on from. Your past can't be your prison. It needs to be your power. Those who are feeling sorry for themselves are stuck in the prison of their own past because they've dug their own hole there. So what you have to do here, stop feeling sorry for yourself and commit to a new way of thinking. Give yourself back power and control. And you do this through number 2. Take responsibility. Take personal responsibility for everything in your life. You are the only one who controls your actions, your perspective, and your response. We spoke about that. Remember, you control not everything, but you control those things. You also get to control what you put in your brain, who you spend your time with, and where you spend your time. You get to control if you're going to listen to a personal development podcast that's going to make you move closer to the life that you want, or if you're going to watch some porn. You get to decide what you do with your life, and that's a very real scenario. A lot of people continue to make the wrong choices and decisions when it comes to who they spend their time with, what they do with their time, and where they spend that time. This goes right into no is a complete sentence. Too many people live a life where they're constantly trying to please other people. You have to be a you pleaser, not a people pleaser. If you're constantly a people pleaser, you're never going to be happy in your life because you're always living a life to make somebody else happy. And that's no way to live. If you do that, you're literally allowing other people to control your happiness and your success. Again, take back control, and you do that through taking personal responsibility. So get in the driver's seat of your fucking life. You're the driver. A lot of times people are allowing fear to sit in the driver's seat and dictate their life. Move fear, throw the fear in the back seat, fear's coming for a ride, you're the driver now. Number 3, set the standard, hold the standard. People talk about setting the standard all the time. Setting your non-negotiables, all the things that you do no matter what. Not allowing anybody to change the standard that you set. Well, guess what? If you set the standard, you do fucking nothing. I don't care how perfect that standard looks. Because setting the standard is a wish. Holding the standard is an action. So you have to do both of these together or nothing fucking changes. You can wish all you want, but without the action, nothing fucking changes. So set the standard and hold that standard. And don't let anyone or anything allow you to downgrade those standards that you've set for yourself. Again, it's your life. No is a complete sentence. And the final thing, and this is the most important thing, and it kind of goes right off of that, take action, take action, take action. But Caitlin, I don't know what to do. It's not perfect. I have this, and that happening. I can't take action now. Yes, you can. Take messy action. I can't make a decision. There's so many things going on in my life. There's so many things going on in my head. You can make a decision, and so many people are worried about making the right decision that they never actually make a decision. Instead of worrying about making the right decision, just worry about making the decision that you make right. You always have that power. Take action, take messy action. Just take action, because action really does cure everything. It builds trust, confidence, belief, and integrity with yourself. Everybody knows that person, or we've had that person in our life, where we always make plans with that person, and then they cancel every single time. Most of the time they cancel at like the last minute, and then you no longer trust that person. You don't have belief in them. You don't have confidence in them. You do that to yourself all the time. I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. and work out before work. 5 a.m. comes along and the bed is so cozy, so I'm just going to hit snooze. We'll do it later. But you don't do it. And then you just kind of remain in that cycle, and you can't figure out why you feel like you're in a funk all the time and why you have no confidence in yourself. Because you literally keep saying that you're going to do one thing and you do the complete opposite. No wonder you don't trust yourself. No wonder you don't have confidence in yourself. Change that. Take action. Stop thinking about it and start doing it. I have so many people who have told me, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get to this goal, whether it be a career goal, a fitness goal, building a business, whatever they're trying to accomplish. They tell me that they're willing to do whatever it takes. And then I say, great, here's what it takes. You have to hit your protein goal every day. Track your food, track your calories, hit your fiber goal, drink your water, do your workouts that I program for you each week. Oh, I can't do that. Or, oh, okay, that sounds great. And then they don't fucking do it. Stop talking about it, start being about it. People say all the time they want this and that, but they're less willing to actually show me that they want it. The other day in our Powerhouse Mentality Facebook group, I asked the group, what is your biggest pet peeve? And we got a lot of good ones. A lot of good ones. My biggest pet peeve, and what I put there, I put two things. I put one, those who drive in the left lane going slower than the speed limit. Get the fuck out of my lane. You're in my way, and I have things to do. The second thing that I put was those who complain about their circumstances, but do absolutely nothing to change them. And the amount of people who commented and said, I was going to say the same thing when it came to the second part. Because those who go out there and they execute and they do the work, they don't understand why other people can't do the same. So you think right now you feel stuck? Guess what's going to cure that? Taking action. Taking action. I wasn't always the person who took action. I still struggle with it sometimes when something's extremely scary, uncomfortable, and I don't know what the outcome's going to be. Fucking terrified. A couple months ago, I left my job at Hidden Summit. I was a coach at Hidden Summit for 2 years. I was terrified to leave that job. Because it was something that I wanted so badly when I was offered it. And then 2 years later, I realized that I had much more to give the world and I was feeling held back. So it was one of the scariest things I've done. Prior to that, probably leaving my stable job at the gym in order to go all in on online coaching. That was terrifying too, but I did it and it was the best decision I've ever made. 100%. Actually false. The best decision I ever made was answering Stone's DM when he messaged me. I could have left that shit on red, but I didn't. And I'm so glad I didn't, because I don't know where I'd be without him. But what I'm trying to say to you is that it's going to be terrifying getting out of your own way. It's scary to stop playing a victim, because then you actually have to take personal responsibility for your own shit. You don't have anybody else to blame now. It's all on you. That's scary. But it's also really cool, because then you have power and control back. And you can do fucking anything that you want with your life. Because nobody can stop you. Remember, it's all up to you. It's scary to set a standard and to hold that standard. What if you fuck it up? Well, it's okay, because remember, you can't fuck this up. You can't. And it's your responsibility. It's all on you. You got this. It's scary to take action. It is. I won't lie to you, it's terrifying to take action, especially when that action has unknown things involved with it, and there's change involved. But you know what's even more scary? Being stuck in a mediocre life because you're too afraid to take action. Getting to the end of your life and being on your deathbed and saying, I ran out of time. That's my biggest fear in life. Getting to the end of my life, and I don't know when that's going to be. If we're being real, it could be right after this podcast. It could be tomorrow. I don't know. We hope that it won't be. But the reality is, you have to live every single day like it's your last chance and your last opportunity to allow your goals to come true. Because it could be. Life changes really fucking fast. We've all been in a scenario before where we've gotten a phone call, where we've gotten a text, and it's changed everything. Life changes fast. So stop putting off the things that you want to do and start living your damn life. You get one life. Don't get to the end of your life and say, I ran out of time. Make the time now. I hope this episode was helpful for you guys. And if it was, please share it on your social media. Share it with at least one person. I want this podcast to grow, and I want it to be bigger than you could ever imagine. So please help me out there. If you found value. Only if you found value. If you didn't find value, then fuck me, I need to do a better job. But go out today and do one thing that's going to take you one step closer to where you want to be.